According to a new poll from NPR, 4 out of 5, or 80% of parents and adults actually in the United States believe that climate change should be taught in schools. 80% of grown-ups in this country believe that we should be teaching our children about man-made climate change, the causes, the effects, what's going to happen, and what we can do to solve the problem. 86% of teachers in this country agree with that. 86% say, heck yeah, we should be teaching our children about climate change. And what's great about these numbers from this new poll is that they transcend party lines. Majority of everybody, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, a majority of all of them say, yes, we should be teaching our children about the damage we've inflicted upon our own planet. But here's the problem. Teachers do not have the resources. They do not have the skill set, unfortunately, some of them, to actually teach this. And this is actually by their own admission. I'm not knocking teachers here by any stretch of the imagination. They've said they don't understand it enough to teach it to their children. Some of them, not all of them. But the biggest complaint is that they don't have the resources to do it. They don't have the time to do it. It's not a part of their particular subject matter. You know, it's kind of hard to get a math teacher to talk about climate change, obviously. But that is a failure of the government, of state governments in charge of curriculum, of federal governments and funding issues. This is a failure of the government, and to be honest, it's a failure by design. We have seen for decades now, Republicans, when they get in power, whether it's at the state level or the federal level, they try to gut public education here in the United States. They depend on these right-wing crazed bookmakers, the people who want to take things like evolution out of textbooks and rewrite the history sections to say that slavery was a happy time in the United States history and that slaves really loved what they were doing, which is actually what's being written in textbooks in Texas right now. They're the ones making the decisions here. They're the ones keeping out climate change. They're the ones preventing our children from learning about something that is going to affect their daily lives in the very near future. But more importantly, this might be the generation that can do what we never could and fix the problem. We have seen so many young activists, the ones suing the government for doing nothing on climate change, the ones who started the Sunrise Movement, the ones who are out there protesting, giving speeches while they're still in middle school or high school about the threat of climate change. They want something done. And based on what we've seen out of DC and global leaders, it's going to have to be these kids. We have phenomenal climate scientists out there right now who have been working for years and years and years, telling us about the dangers, trying their best to explain it to us in terms that we can understand. But they can't actually fix the problem themselves. They need us, all of us, the elected leaders, the activists, the students, the teachers, everyone to be on board to do something about it. And that's what's missing. Teachers want to teach it. The textbook folks don't want to put it in the textbooks. Parents want their kids to learn about it, yet most of them haven't talked about it to their kids at home ever, according to the poll. We all have to step up. This is not a problem that, one, we can ignore, or two, that we can't prevent. And that's also what's missing from the discussions here. We can prevent it, we can stop it, we can make it better, but only if we take action. And we're not going to take action by burying our heads in the sands and pretending to tell our kids that, oh, you don't need to worry about this thing, let the grown-ups handle it. The grown-ups have been handling it for a few decades, and now we're already to the point where we have to do something now because the grown-ups didn't really handle it when they were in charge. Bring the kids into the conversation. They're more active, they're more energized, and they're a hell of a lot smarter than we give them credit for. But if we withhold this knowledge from them, then they really don't have much hope for a bright future. Thanks for watching, everybody. And don't forget, if you like what you see here, like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. And now you can also become a member of Ring of Fire and get exclusive early access to certain Ring of Fire videos all throughout the week. Just click on the little join button right below the video.